Hello, everyone. Welcome to DraftKings quarterback analysis for week 7. We got some exciting little delectable delights for you. Jason wrote this nifty little article about quarterbacks and how to really bring the room together. So how's it going, Jason?
That was excellent wordplay to open up the show. By far your best intro you've ever done.
I was going for like a
I got a Frasier type vibe.
yeah, I was going for like what's that network that like does all the house renovations and all that crap?
HGTV.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Trying to set the scene in a Tim Allen type of way.
Okay, we're on completely different tracks then. Not Tim Allen. All right.
Well, no, the hairy guy that was his co-host,
Al.
Al. Yeah, that guy.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he did like a game show after that or something. Anyhow, cash game quarterbacks, Derek Carr and the Raiders heading into Jacksonville to face the Jags. What are you looking at there, pal?
I mean, I'm looking at DraftKings pricing this week, and I just don't see a reason to pay up over 6,500. Derek Carr, I mean, 63 against the Jags defense. Obviously, certainly improved in the passing game this year. I'll definitely give him that. Still pretty average in terms of fantasy points allowed. This game, third highest game total of the slate. You just like Derek Carr. I mean, top half in pass attempts per game this year. 67% of the Oakland touchdowns do come through the air. Carr's just an efficient guy. I mean, in terms of consistency, he's had 2 real tough games so far to start out the year, but against respectable defenses, so I'll give him that. Overall, I just think 6,300 is a pretty good bargain. You can pair him with Crabtree. You can pair him with Cooper as well.
Yeah, and unlike his brother David, he's really holding himself together at the NFL level so far. So I'm really happy for him and his family. Uh, and this Jags defense hasn't really been, everything we thought it was going to be at the beginning of the year. We do like Jalen Ramsey a little bit, but we still got Michael Crabtree there, and things are going to be all right.
I think so. I mean, I'm looking at that game back and forth. We'll talk about another guy later on.
Next here we're looking at Chargers versus Falcons. Philip Rivers at 6,500. That's quite the bargain if you ask me.
I can't even take you seriously right now. But at 6,500, you're looking at Atlanta have allowed the third most DK points to quarterbacks this year, allowing a 99.1 passer rating. Game flow should force Rivers to throw quite a bit more than he has this year. They're nearly a touchdown underdog on the road. Opponents do throw a ton against Atlanta, nearly 42 times per game. This is the second highest game total on the slate. This is one I'm going to be taking a lot of players from on the offensive side of both teams. So Rivers, I mean, I think if you look in terms of consistency, it hasn't been tremendous, but I think in terms of a floor, he still gives you a pretty good number. And in this matchup, it's absolutely superb, even with the lesser weapons. I like Hunter Henry, who's really stepped up. Dontrell Inman, it seems like a sneaky play this week. So I like Rivers. I like this offense, even on the road here.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I would say Philip Rivers is a great foundation, if you will, for your lineups this we'd Now, Kirk Cousins facing off against the Lions that, if you were to compare their defense to a house, they'd certainly have a lot of molding up in the attic there with their secondary. Certainly a lot of problems there. I mean, it certainly looks like Kirk Cousins is going to come in and, knock this baby down and start from start anew.
To keep the HDTV trend going, yes, he's going to come in, knock this one down, and renovate the kitchen. Is what I'm expecting. So the only thing I'm having issues with is him on the road. You look at last year, 17.7 DK points on the road compared to 23.4 at home. He's not the most consistent guy. This year, things have been a little bit closer, 16.3 DK points on the road, 18.5 at home. So still a little bit of a difference, but he's not scoring as much. But we look at this matchup here, most DK points allowed to quarterbacks on the season, allowing the highest opposing passer rating. 94% of their touchdowns they've allowed this year have come, through the air. So I like Cousins. I like him as a GPP flyer. I mean, 5,900 just seems a little bit ridiculous in this type of matchup. I think people are going to cross the line and go maybe him in cash and use him as a borderline cash play. And I don't mind it. But for me, just my personal choice, I'm going to just leave him in GPPs.
That's certainly fair, Jason. I appreciate that insight. Next here, looking at Blake Bortles and this Jags offense, they're like a lawn that's been left out too long without being watered. They need some water here, Jason. Are they going to get it this week against the Raiders?
Yes, the Raiders gardening, team can come up and give them some water because eighth most pass attempts or for Blake Bortles this year. You look at this Raiders defense; they've been bad, which was kind of unexpected. I thought they were going to be a little bit better than last year. That really hasn't been the case. Allowing 8.8 yards per attempt, worst in the league. Allowing a 104 passer rating. I look at Bortles. I mean, he's been horrible this year. There's no doubt about that. But I think that's going to keep his ownership low. You're looking at this total, third highest game total. So I do like both sides. I think Carr is going to be the more attractive option. I like pairing Bortles with A-Rob, who is coming off a disappointing week as well. So in terms of a low own kind of type stack, I think A-Rob Bortles, I'm going to be on the wagon again in GPPs because there is a ton of upside, especially if this game kind of goes into a back and forth type game flow.
Definitely agree there. Now this last one here you mentioned Marcus Mariota. He's such a nice boy, isn't he? Always helping everyone out. Against the Colts this week at 6K. Are we going to get a happy ending here? Is this going to be a good storybook ending for Marcus Mariota, or is he going to trip while he's delivering the newspapers on Sunday morning?
He'll be fine. 6K, a pretty good value. He's subbing in for Brian Hoyer because this is usually the Brian Hoyer section of the show, but he's playing Thursday. Mariota, 124 rushing yards and a touchdown combined in the last two games, 25 plus DK points in both of those. Colts defense played a little bit better on Sunday night, but still pretty banged up. Obviously, Brock Osweiler, I feel Marcus Mariota is a much better quarterback than he is. Allowing the 10th most DK points to QBs. They're not a good tackling team, which I think gives an advantage to Mariota in terms of running and breaking one out. 6K, this is just another value. I mean, all these guys below 6,500, I don't see a reason to really pay up, especially with Drew Brees on the road. Andrew Luck's a pay-up option if you want GPPs, but outside of that, these are really the main five that I'll be rolling a lot of.
Would you compare Marcus Mariota this week to a hot chocolate on a chilly winter afternoon by the fire?
I feel pretty warm about that. Yeah. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Cozy. If you do like what we're doing here, certainly head to the YouTube and give us a like and subscribe. If you want to read Jason's article, head to dailyfantasycafe.com and read all the scrumptious morsels of DFS knowledge he's throwing out there. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed our quarterbacks this week, and hopefully it helps you win. We will see you guys next week.